I am Richie Brave, and here is my top 5 tips to level up and become a radio broadcaster. I would say one of the top tips for me is preparation. You never know who you're going to meet. So some people go in the radio route through, programs or training. Other people like myself was just given a chance, and I did a lot of panel events, all of that kind of stuff. And I got my radio career, I became a broadcaster as a result of meeting somebody on a panel who believed in me. So I would say top tip from me is make sure you are prepared, because you never know who you're going to meet. Authenticity is everything, so it's definitely a tip from me. As a broadcaster, if you're on the radio, people are buying into what you're saying. If you're not authentic, people will definitely and absolutely see through that. I would not just talk about anything and engage in anything. If I'm doing something, it has to have some sort of message, have some sort of basis, have some sort of foundation. I would say the industry quite a lot now is based on sensationalism. If I'm talking about something, it needs to have depth in it, it needs to have love, and I need to believe in what I'm saying. So in the conversations I have, I will always center Black people and Black communities. So when it comes to authenticity and my experience and the experience of my communities, I will always center them in everything I do. Quite often, a lot of people sell themselves, they might sell out, they might avoid having a conversation to make people happy or to make people comfortable. That is something I will never do, and people know that's what I'm about. So it may mean sometimes I won't get jobs, but it does mean that my credibility out there in the community or out there as a broadcaster always remains high. An essential for me, and I spoke about authenticity, is believing in yourself. And I'd say believing in yourself is really important, because there are going to be times where you look around you, you look at other people's journeys, you might look at their careers and think they're in different places to you, and it's really easy to not believe in yourself. And when I spoke about authenticity a bit earlier on as well, if you constantly keep that, it means that you might not be in particular rooms that you feel like you should be in. But again, it's about being able to lay your head down at night. And for me, there are going to be times where you get knocked back. There are going to be times where you're believed in. You're going to be flavor of the month 1 minute, and nobody's going to want to know you the next. But if you constantly believe in yourself and believe in your journey, then you definitely can't go wrong. I would always say it's important to network sideways. There's this thing, I think, when people are attempting to become a broadcaster or attempting to go into any career, they think, okay, I'm gonna go to the person with the most amount of followers, with the most amount of following, with the most amount of programs, who's the most famous. And I think when it comes to building something that means something to you, something that's authentic, something that reflects you, networking sideways always does big things for me. It's something that I've always done. And when you build yourself as a broadcaster, or you build yourself in anything, networking sideways allows you to open doors to other people. Now, this journey is never just about you. It's about who you represent as a person, and it's about the communities that you represent as well. So as a broadcaster of One Extra Talks, networking sideways for me has been essential. Now, what I do in my program is I platform the stories of people in Black communities. Now, for me, there are people who I've met across my whole journey. When I'm talking about journey, 15 years, 10 years ago, I've met someone, a subject matter comes up, and I think, hold on a minute, I met someone at a party, or I met someone at a networking event, or I met someone at school, or I met someone in college, or I met someone at someone's barbecue that I know would be essential for this conversation. So when I spoke about authenticity a bit earlier on, and that's something that I live by, networking sideways allows you to bring in people who are on the ground, who are first-hand experiencing these things, and are hungry to have those conversations. And it's definitely something I do constantly. I would always say, figure out who you want to be and what works for you. In broadcasting, in anything in the entertainment and the media agency or the media industry, what happens quite a lot is people go into it and they feel like they're losing themselves. And I keep banging on about this authenticity thing, and you might be bored of it, it might sound really boring to you. But actually, when you know who you want to be and who you want to be in that particular space, when you walk into the space, you're already made. And I wouldn't say avoid growth. We're always gonna grow, we're always gonna change, we're always going to evolve. But if you know who you are at your core, if you're coming into this thing and saying, yo, this is the kind of person I wanna be, this is who I wanna bring, this is what I want to bring, then no one can take that away from you. And I'd say it's been really important to me. When I came into this space, space, I knew that I wanted to be a community person. I knew that I wanted to champion Black communities. And I knew that everything that I did, I wanted love to be underpinned in that. And I wanted to be the, I'd say, concurrent running message. So I knew who I was before I came in, and I wasn't willing to give up on that. Knowing who I wanted to be allowed me not to be swayed by anything that was going on around me. I knew what my journey was, who I am, who I was, who I'm going to become, and who I want to be. So I'd say 100%, always know who you are, always have a plan, always understand who you want to be, what you're evolving to become, and who you're representing and what you're representing. Knowing yourself stops you from being swayed or dissuaded by anybody.